Right now I want to talk about these two carpet cleaners here from Bissell, and we're going to put them to the test, clean up these stains of ketchup here I have on the ground, and then I want to talk about some really big differences between these machines and help you make a decision that's going to work best for you. So right off the bat here we have the Turboclean. It's pretty obvious what the difference is here. This is an upright carpet cleaner. And then we also have the Bissell Spotclean. This is the Pet Pro. This is a portable spot carpet cleaner. So we're going to put them to the test, and then I'm going to talk about some of the differences and capabilities to help you make a decision on what might be best for you. So let's start here with the Bissell Spotclean. We're going to clean up this stain of ketchup right here on the carpet. We'll start here by taking off our hose attachment tool here. And then we're going to turn the machine on and we're going to spray this stain down, and then we'll just work the cleaning solution into the carpet and work on extracting that spot here. So turning it on here. So that did a really good job. It took about 3 passes. Really after the second pass, it had drawn up or picked up most of that stain there, and there really wasn't much coming up in the way of the red or the ketchup, the actual stain. So I did go over it a third time just to be sure, but really after 2 passes, it was pretty much all picked up and cleaned. Very powerful, good working machine, great on little spots like that. So now let's go ahead and use the Turboclean on one of these other spots. So the Turboclean has a very similar setup. It's got a clean water reservoir and a dirty water reservoir. The difference here is that it's upright here, so it's going to be squirting water out of the nozzles here, and then it's got this agitator brush that's actually going to spin, and it's going to help pick up the stain here. So let's go ahead and plug it in and get to work. Wow. So look at that. So, very similar. I went over it 3 or 4 times. The difference here that you can see is pretty obvious. Now, just for full transparency, I did vacuum this carpet beforehand, but even with that, there's so much hair, dirt, dust, and debris down in the fibers of the carpet that this agitator just does a great job pulling it up. So I've got, a couple animals in the house. We've got a German Shepherd that sheds a lot, and we've also got a cat, and they do hang out with me in the office a lot. So there's lots of just hair, dirt, dust, and debris down in the fibers of the carpet. So, I think they both did a really good job on cleaning up the stain, but the Turboclean, as you can see here, it takes that extra step and actually pulled up a lot of hair. Now, I wasn't expecting that. Like I said, I did vacuum this beforehand, so fairly surprised to see that much hair get out of there. And then I think, just for giggles, I should do it over here too to see what else this might pull up. And then finally, the last thing I want to show you here with really kind of the differences here and then cleaning up this last stain is that the Turboclean has this 2-in-1 function, so it also has the ability to be a spot cleaner. So you're going to get this hose attachment that comes with it, and this just plugs right in to the base of the vacuum here, and now you pretty much have the same capability as a spot cleaner with an extra long hose on it. So now we're going to do that, and we're going to clean up this last mess here. Let me go ahead and get the camera at a better angle. This attachment function is really easy to use. You just need to have the carpet cleaner in its upright position. You turn it on, and then you simply pull the trigger, and it's going to spray water out of this nozzle tip. This is identical to the spot cleaner, the Pet Pro, or the Spotclean Pet Pro. So same system here, same head, nozzle, trigger, everything is pretty much exactly the same. Kind of the same results here. 2 or 3 passes really picks up that stain and that spill there. Now, just for fun here, I am going to use the bristle head attachment here. I'm going to go over this entire area and see what else it picks up as far as hair and other things. We've got some stuff to talk about now. I think testing the machines, they both work very well, especially for their intended purpose. So let's talk about some of the benefits, pros and cons, and we're just going to kind of mix it together here in a conversation. So the Spotclean here, this is a really good, well-built machine. It's meant to be portable, easy to carry around, but very powerful at the same time. This is an upgraded version of one of their portable carpet cleaners. It's great because everything's compact. It's really inside this little machine here. Everything wraps around, you know, everything's nice and tight. It takes up as little space as possible while still being as big and powerful as it is. And then this machine here, I think, you know, the benefit of it is that it's kind of universal. You can do a couple different things with it. So it's great as an upright carpet cleaner. And then you do have that additional function to go ahead and plug in the hose. I think they both performed well picking up those stains. And then I was, you know, pretty surprised because I did vacuum, like I said, to see that it basically picked up that big old chunk of hair. So that's something to consider as well. So some of the pros and cons here. The nice thing about the Spotclean here is that you can actually take it around. So if you're going to be doing cars with it, maybe you want to do your upholstery, it's going to be easier to travel around with. And then if you've just got little spots, it's, you know, they're basically the same. You've got to fill up the water tank. You've got a dirty water reservoir, so you're still going to have kind of the same setup, but this is just smaller, easier maintenance. With this machine here, yes, you've got the same setup, so you've got the 2 water reservoirs here, but then you've also got this additional component down here. There's lots of hair that's stuck in here right now. The nice thing is that it does come apart here, so it is easy to clean. I do have to get in front of it here because you kind of got to get the right angle, but this pops off, and then it does come with some cleaning utensils so that you can get in there and get the hair out, and then you can get in there and clean up everything. So it does have functionality with the user in mind, so it's easy to clean after use. Surprisingly, this one has the larger amp motor. So this one has a 5.7 amp motor, and the Turboclean here has a 4.9 amp motor. Now, does that mean that it has better suction or works better? You know, that's to be determined, and you kind of have to have more equipment to test that. More power doesn't mean more suction, but I will say that when testing the two, when I was using the hose attachment on the Turboclean, I did feel like the Spotclean here did have more suction when I was cleaning up that stain, as we saw earlier. A thing of note here as well is that you can do upholstery and everything else. You know, really anything that you can do with this machine, you can also do with the Turboclean. And the hose here is much longer than the hose attachment on here. So if you did want to do upholstery, car seats, things like that with it, you could do that. You know, you're just going to have to take this machine out wherever your car is, you know. So that's something to consider when looking at these machines. So, you know, it really comes down to you and your situation. I like having them both, but if I had to just pick one, you know, I might go with this machine because it's got both functionality. If I had a smaller place, lived in an apartment, or just wanted to travel a lot more with this, maybe I, you know, was going to get into car detailing or something, I might want this one just because it's easier to carry around with me. This one's going to use a lot more water, so the Turboclean does use a lot more water. So, you know, depending on what you're looking at, that might be something to consider. It just uses more water, especially when you're in the upright position there. So there you go. That is kind of the difference here between the Turboclean and the Spotclean. Both really good machines. I was looking online, and the Turboclean looks like it might have been replaced with a different model. Still basically the same machine, same functionality. I think they're just rebranding it and calling it something different. I've noticed that a lot with the Bissell products. They're the same machines. They just kind of rebrand, maybe make a couple different tweaks on them, but they're basically still the same machine. So I don't know if the Turboclean is still on the market. If not, I will link to whatever is currently available. And then as far as price, that's really kind of the final decision here. They're about the same price. So for me, if I had any type of carpet, you know, in a room, right, other than just like area rugs and things like that, I would probably just go with this machine because I'm going to want to clean my carpets And then I've got that dual functionality with both of them. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want to know more about how to use these machines individually, I do have complete tutorials of that. I will link in the description of this video as well. If you like DIY around the house, please feel free to like and subscribe. My name is Drew. I'll see you in the next one.